Now, as is so often the case with jewellery and metalwork, often the embellishment is part of the structure. So this little spiral looks rather pretty, but it's also going to be the thing that stops the pin falling off the main part of the brooch. Has a double function, form and function. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do is put this wire around my mandrel to form the circle, the main shape of the brooch. Okay. And I'm going to put that into shape. Oh. Just put the old earphones on again. I hold it round and I'm asking the tool to tell the metal what shape I want it to be. So hold it very carefully. I'm just going to hammer that into that circle and take those edges off like that. Now, because that's slightly buckled the metal, I'm going to put it back down and flatten it like this, and back the other way to this shape. Right, I think we're almost there. I'm going to just slightly manipulate that to the shape I want. I think that would work actually. That looks like that would work. Now, because the metal's been heated a couple of times and it's been hammered and heated, it now needs to be tempered. That means it needs to be hammered with a harder hammer to bring the molecules nice and tightly back together to hold the form. So I'm just simply going to do that with an ordinary metal hammer here, very, very carefully. I'm going to hammer it all the way around. Very, very careful not to touch my fingers. I'll turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. Once it's in shape, just lots of little taps to temper it properly back into a hardened form. Like so. There we are. Now I need to make a pin. So I need a piece of metal about that long, because I'm going to shape one end into the pin shape and flatten the other end and turn it over. I'll show you. I'm just going to cut that to the right side. That's it. That's it. And I'm going to shape one end into a point with a hammer, as I did before at the end of those spirals. And I'm going to flatten out the other side. So this is the pointy end of the pin. And I shall flatten this end as well. And they need reheating because that's quite tightly tempered. I'm going to go and anneal it and soften up the metal one more time. Going to file the end to tidy it up a little bit after that hammering. Now I need to attach the two parts. I'm going to do that by, this end is still annealed, it should still be soft enough for me to bend over this piece here. I'm going to do some of that with my pliers, like that, and I need to just squash it nice and tightly. To hold it together like that, and there should be a little bit of movement there, like so, and I'm going to, really just for aesthetic reasons, I'm just going to manipulate that back down like so, so it sits nice and tidily, and that is pretty much it. Now I sort of assume that people making metalwork thousands of years ago would have wanted to see the finished piece nice and shiny, like I do. See the real essence of the metal shine through. And so I'm going to use my polishing machine, which obviously no one would have had more than 100 years ago. I assume, but I don't know, that they would have used clay and grit as an abrasive to polish up metals, say in the Bronze Age or in Anglo-Saxon times, any of the times we're studying. Because even with my polishing machine, the sorts of abrasives that I use to clean my metals are just the same. They're made of clay compounds with different grits. So the technology hasn't changed in principle, it's just the means of delivery has. So I'm just going to give this a quick polish on the machine, and then I'll show you the finished piece. So our little brooch is finished, all polished up, but the mystery remains, to me at any rate, of how it attaches to a piece of clothing, because it's very different to brooches that we have now, or more common brooches that we have now with a piece of sprung pin. So if I show you, I've got my scarf here, and I'm going to attempt to put it through the fabric there. That's it. I'll put it around like that. That's it. So the pin's going through, but it turns out that it's the brooch itself that is the mechanism that holds the pin in place. And that's how it works. Isn't that ingenious and ancient and wonderful? And how exciting that we could recreate that here today. Thank you so much for coming to see me. I hope you come and visit again.